Welcome back to math. Today we will read and write time to the hour on an analog and digital clock. For our assignment, we will read and write time on an analog and digital clock. This is important so that we can read an analog clock, digital clock, and be on time for school. So we discuss how it's important for you to read a clock so you can be on time for school every day, right? Yes. Let's go ahead and start with some vocabulary. So our first vocabulary word is clock. So these are what we look at every day. It is called a clock. Y'all should see one in your classrooms. If not, there's some around the school too, or in your house as well. But this is called a clock, what we're going to be looking at today. And then our next vocabulary word is hour. So hour is what's always represented on the clock. And it's the first number we say whenever we're talking about time. So whenever we're telling someone the time, we always say the hour first. The hour hand is our next vocabulary word. So who remembers where the hour hand is? You got it. It's the shortest one. The shortest hand is the hour hand. Perfect. So our next one is minute hand. Does anyone remember what the minute hand is? Yes, it is right here. It's the longest hand. This one is the minute hand. Great job. Our last vocabulary word for today is o'clock. So we reviewed that o'clock is 2 zeros. O'clock is represented by 2 zeros. So we always say the number of the hour first. So we always say the hour first, which is 6. And then o'clock is represented by 2 zeros. Good job. So let's go ahead and practice on how to write the digital form of the hour and how it looks like on the clock. So we're going to go ahead and practice on how the digital form of an hour looks like, and we're also going to practice on how it looks like on the clock. So let's go ahead and see our first one. I'm going to put it right here. So we have 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock. And then we have 2 zeros, meaning that it's 2 o'clock. So what does 2 o'clock look like? Let's go ahead and put it on our clock. So which one is the hour hand? Perfect, the shortest one. So let's go ahead and put the shortest one on the number 2 because the first number represents our hour. So we're going to go ahead and put our hour hand on the number 2. So let's go ahead and put it on the number 2. Just like that. So which one's our minute hand? You got it, the longest one. What represents o'clock? So where does the minute hand need to go in order for it to be 2 o'clock? Does anyone remember? Y'all got it. It has to go on the 12, just like this. Just like that. So when the hour changes, it always goes to number 12. So right now, 2 o'clock, this is how it's written in the digital form. And this is how you see it on a clock, on an analog clock. 2 o'clock. Yes? Good job. Let's go ahead and try another one. So I'm going to take these off. Let's go ahead and try this one. So what does it say? What is the time? Yes, the number 1 o'clock. So it is 1 o'clock. Perfect. So let's go ahead and where does our minute hand need to go whenever it's 1 o'clock? Our minute hand? Good job. It always stays on the 12, just like this. And we're looking at our hour. So which one's our hour hand again? The shortest one. So the first number is the hour. So what is the hour? 1. Great job. So we're going to go ahead and put it to where it points to the 1. Oops. There we go. To the 1. So it is pointing to the 1. The hour hand is pointing to the 1. So it means that it is 1 o'clock. Got it? Yes? Okay, let's go ahead and practice another one. Let's practice one more. 9. Ooh. It's a bigger number, but we got this, okay? Let's go ahead and take up our hands again, and we're going to read our digital form. So it says 9 o'clock. What number is this? 9. Good job. O'clock, because it has 2 zeros. So 9 o'clock. O'clock. Okay, which one's our hour hand? Perfect, the shortest one. And which one's our minute hand? You got it, the longest one. So let's start with our minute hand. Where does our minute hand always go when it is 9 o'clock and it has the 2 zeros? Where does it always go? Good job, on the 12. Our minute hand goes on the 12 when you see o'clock in digit form, which is these 2 zeros. These 2 zeros mean o'clock. And which one is our hour? Good job, the 9. The first number you see is the hour. So let's go ahead and put our hour hand pointing to the 9, like so. So right here on our analog clock, it says 9 o'clock. So we have our hour hand on the 9, and we have our minute hand on the 12, since there's 2 zeros on this digit form. So this shows 9 o'clock, and this says 9 o'clock. Okay, good practice. So now it's going to be your turn to read the digital form and to represent it on a clock. Go ahead and click video number 2 so I could go ahead and walk you through your assignment.